Hey, it's Jordan. We are still in Wyoming County. I am here with a healthcare worker. I'm not going to get into specifics of where they work or what they do, just to protect them. But this healthcare worker has been seeing a whole lot of patients with similar symptoms. So the residents who have been coming in, they're largely on private well water. What are the main symptoms you've been seeing?
The main symptoms would be nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, coughing in some cases, fever, and abdominal cramps.
Headaches, and I gotta go see a specialist over my stomach right now. Where just wanting to puke. I just don't have no appetite and stuff. But yeah, the headaches, the dryness in my mouth, the funny taste in my mouth.
You seem fairly young. I don't know. I mean, I'm not.
I'll be 41 next month.
Right. So before all this, were you relatively healthy?
Yeah, I didn't have no problem. I can get doctor records for you.
I've lost a lot of weight.
They have both of them.
Yeah.
Do you know of other people in this area that are having health issues?
I believe everyone around here, everybody, this whole community.
Similar symptoms?
Yeah.
About a year ago, we know that there was residents in Pineville, their water wells shooting up, flooding of their backyards, front yards, smelly water, discolored water. Don't know exactly the source of contamination, but from what I've looked at, there's white, stringy stuff in the water. We've seen brown, orange type of water coming out. The symptoms you're seeing, which are a lot of stomach symptoms, are those consistent with, because some of the testing showed lead, arsenic, manganese, and iron.
Yes, and the surfactants that's in the water too. Your body's way of digesting it or trying to digest those things would be diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, weight loss because you're going to be sick and not be able to eat.
And the surfactants, just so the audience knows, that's kind of a byproduct of industrial cleaner?
Yes, it is.
And the people coming in with diarrhea, this kind of stuff, are they generally, middle-aged people? We're not only talking about elderly people here.
No, it's all ages, from children to middle-aged to elderly.
And we know that residents here, I've talked to some people that have been losing weight kind of rapidly. Have you heard from patients that?
I have.
What about, I know this is a human doctor, but I've also been hearing about dogs getting sick, cats, deer, and your animals have died. Tell me about your dogs and other animals.
I've been seeing coons, been seeing deer dead, seen my dogs get this like they're sick one day and they're dead the next before you can even take them to the vet or anything.
Have you heard from patients about their animals?
Yes, I just had a lady tell me today that she had 12 goats that passed away for no known reason.
And these are mostly residents that live across the creek, Indian Creek, and they have private well water. And we know that there's a lot of coal mining and gas wells around this area.
Yes.
And you tested them for various things, and it was all coming up negative.
All negative.
What kind of stuff was tested?
For COVIDs, flu A, flu B, strep.
And is there anything you could really do for diarrhea, vomiting, other than like anti-nausea stuff? Was there stuff you were able to give them that was helping, or it's still acting up?
It's still continuing, and with your body, you don't really want it to stop. If there's a toxin in your body, you want your body to be able to pass it, so you want them to continue vomiting or diarrhea to get rid of it. But if they give them something, and it's only going to help for a little while, and if they're continuing to drink this water, it's just going to come back. They're going to stay sick, and that's what we're seeing.
Could these kind of things, right now it's causing, the stomach stuff, but could this lead to potentially worse issues down the road?
Yes, in digesting all these chemicals that we are seeing that has been tested for these wells can cause cancer. It can cause all kinds of different things. So especially if it's not treated. So if they're continuing to drink this and they're not being notified that, hey, this water's really bad and it has all these chemicals, and they just keep drinking it, it's not going to be a good result in the end.
And is the local health department, the local county, the environmental department, has there been any communication with local health?
There has. I have not been notified of that.
It seems like people are kind of suffering in silence.
As far as I know, if you were on city water, you would get a notification in the mail saying, hey, you're on a boil advisory. Nobody on Indian Creek or Briar Creek has been given any kind of advisory that the water has been bad, except for what Richard has posted. And we're supposed to be having a meeting at the church tomorrow just to notify these residents, hey, this is what's going on, this is what we're finding, this is why you can't drink this water.
The environmental department, from what they've told Richard and others, say the water's fine. But how could the water be fine if...
Well, they're only testing the water for what you would normally test it for. They're not going into detail with the other things that these people are now finding. The arsenic, they're not going to test normally for that. So
What do they normally test?
I'm not 100% sure on what it would be, but I'm for sure it would be like chlorine. You know, things that the normal, like cities would check for. So if you're wanting it tested for arsenic and large levels of iron and lead and all that, you are going to have to go pay for that separately. And you're looking at about $300, $400. And they're saying that everybody that wants their wells tested, they're going to have to pay for that themselves. People here cannot afford that. So it's like they're going to have to suffer it out.
And also with high levels of iron, at least in Flint, where they had the water crisis, that breeds bacteria.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and that's, these people that are ending up with these stomach issues, they're coming in, and it's not just, when you think of diarrhea, you just think, oh, they're just having diarrhea. No, you're doing extreme abdominal cramps with this. People are coming in and they're having extreme abdominal cramps to the point to where they're crying. They're fevering, you know, they're sweating from fevers, and it's very painful. It's not just a normal diarrhea.
Yeah, we met a woman who said her son, when she was coming to the home in Pineville, and the whole backyard was flooded, smelly, the garage was flooded, it smells horrible. He was getting fever, coughing a lot.
My little boy, every time he comes down, you know, he'll come down and just, he's usually running fevers, sneezing, coughing, and just sick. And it's sad they can't even come down and visit their grandmothers, I mean, without being sick.
You've seen that?
Yes, we've seen a lot of the coughing included with that, but within the last year, we've noticed the really bad smell here on Indian Creek. As soon as you pull in, it was like really bad. And we were told we're not even supposed to be inhaling that.
She can't talk.
When did because she doesn't have a spleen.
No, not because of that. She can't talk because all them fumes are coming into her bedroom from that garage. I mean, she's breathing it. And
How long has she been having problems talking for?
how long would you say? Months, 9 months, maybe longer.
There's no magic pill you could give. It's just there you have these things, and the only thing that might help is not drinking the water, but they're also showering in this and inhaling it that way.
Well, they haven't even been told not to drink the water until Richard notified everybody, you know, through the post that he's been making. So when they're coming in, they don't really know what's going on with them. They didn't even know it was the water that was making them sick. Like I said, we test for everything that we do there on a normal basis, which would be flu, strep, and COVID. It's all negative.
In terms of the diarrhea, you know, people think of diarrhea as sometimes you get it, but that could be dangerous if you're having consistent diarrhea constantly. It's dehydrating, etc.
Exactly. You could be put in the hospital for that. I mean, if you get too dehydrated, you're going to have fluids in your body. So, and if somebody can't afford to go to the hospital and they're just suffering it out, they could get, I mean, it could end up being potentially hazardous to them.
Right. And you're also, they have to bathe themselves and their kids. So if the drinking water is contaminated, I mean, the shower water is just coming from the same source. So
What I told them is, do not soak in it. If you have to take a shower, then you can take a shower, but do not soak in this water. Because people have to shower. They can't go around and not bathe. But worst comes to worst, just shower in it, but do not soak in it.
And where you are, basically, have you seen an influx of the normal flow of patients that you would normally see?
Yes, and especially with the females, we're seeing a whole lot of UTIs. Yes.
And would you say with the stomach issues and this and that, if a couple is trying to have a child or something like that and a woman gets pregnant, would it be hazardous to consume this water?
Yes. My daughter is pregnant, so I worry about that with her.
Because obviously if there's chemicals in the water, that could be very troublesome for the baby.
Well, they have found E. coli in her urine twice.
Within the last few weeks?
within a month of each other. Yep.
In this area.
Yes.
You obviously got in this to help people, so is it a little troubling that there's kind of a silence of the lambs here about this?
Yes, because I love my community, and a lot of people, we're trying our best to help each other out here. So we're trying to get the information out, we're trying to get them the knowledge they need, we're trying to let them know what we're doing and what we found and where they can get water, and we're trying to supply that water to them, as often as they need it. So that's, we're limited to what all we can do, but we're doing the best we can with what we've got.
Somebody earlier said to me that you all are the kind of poor, forgotten Appalachia. You think that plays a part in this?
I think it does. I think sometimes things are done and they think it'll be swept under the rug because nobody can afford to do anything about it. But I'm hoping that's not going to be the case.